Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another couple Euros to replay. Spawn bottom right side as the Wehrmacht forces, we got a foreign name. Spawn top left side as the Red Soviets, we got Surgeon. Do have both players selected doctrine, do have now the Mechanized Assault doctrine, but he's not going for a tier 1 skip. This doctrine, any doctrine of Assault Grenadiers can be a tier 1 skip doctrine, but simply not the case. The Soviet player's gone for double Combat Engineers into tier 1. It's a build opener I like to use. Combat Engineers are pretty decent combat squad, especially for their price, and then you can just use them to capture up sectors while the penals actually go out and fight. Giving a nice little dynamic of you got your fighting squads and you've got your support and capture squads, and there's a small little spider crawling down in front of my face. Give me a moment. There we go. How often does it happen to you guys where you're sitting in front of your computer or in front of your TV or anything of that sort? You're just sitting there and all of a sudden a spider just comes down in front of your face. Happens more often than I would imagine, at least for me. Either way, we do have an MG42 on the field, got Grenadiers as well, so it looks like this Mechanized Assault doctrine. He may be not eyeing Assault Grenadiers. Assault Grenadiers are fine in small numbers. They're not, honestly in my opinion, not too particularly great squad. They're very situational and hard to really use since they're very fragile. And against penals, the penals of course just need to stand still, open fire, and as they start getting closer, they start receiving a lot of extra damage there. So penals are a relatively good counter to the Assault Grenadiers. And I'm about to sneeze, my apologies. My apologies. The Soviet player has, of course, selected doctrine as well, as I mentioned before. They got the Guard Rifle Combined Arms Tactics. So it's a pretty nice doctrine. You got your KV-1s, a very good tank. We got the Guards Rifle Infantry, a very nice infantry unit. ML-20s, situationally good. I always have trouble with ML-20s. I can use LF-18s, but ML-20 is a little bit harder to use, because I think it's because they usually try to get 4-man squads rather than 6-man squads, making it harder to get any sort of work done. Just smaller number of targets. And of course, we got a single strafe and run and the advanced fortifications. Penals did a pretty good skirmish round, does not get suppressed there, and before sitting on up, it should allow, I think, well, great pullback there. Does take a bit of damage here from the Pioneer. Pioneer does fall back. And got a stick with heavy cover, did not, and looks like he was on general attack order to follow the Pioneer, so he needs to fall back. If he were to just plant himself along the walls, he could have fought it out, though it would be a bit difficult since MG42 still has pretty good DPS. And the penal squad just moving forward. That's the best position there. Combat could start keep on firing away by trying to avoid the Grenadiers. And 3 deployed on the field, a little bit more difficult against Wehrmacht due to the nature of they have access to Panzerfaust right now. There's 2 Grenadiers on the field for Panzerfaust. And Assault Grenadiers can at least still stay in the fight because it has pretty good DPS against the armored targets. Penal squad can still should be loaded. Nope, just dropped them all there. If we would have loaded back the 4-man squad in the back of the M3, it would allow it to still get its full DPS off a more durable platform since there's only 4 markers, infantry markers there. Early Minesweeper to find the early landmine, very nice. Grenadiers do get first 1, now they have access to the field first aid, a ability that's very difficult to make good value out of because it takes so long to cast. By the time you actually get a cast, then you get in combat and the healing does subside.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
M3 takes some damage there, can cook a little bit there. Penal squad just needs to advance ahead of the cover there. M3 trying to go for a flank, and it's hard to say if that's actually flanking or not. I don't think that's flanking hits there. Penal squad decide to advance, and he's going to get rid of the part there. Grenadiers are very good long-range combatant. And they're still decent at close range. Not as good as other squads, but they're still decent. Combat Engineers now streaming the way forward. And he may be able to survive a Panzerfaust damage, so he could just try charge with M3 and just get good close range damage. Panzerfaust is firing. Connects. And he's getting out of there. Ooh, nice burst from MG42. He reverses back too far. There's a line of sight blocker there. Does manage to start initiate repairs, and I think I don't know how effective Minesweeper Pioneer is. Combat engineers repairing in combat. He's hitting the combat engineers quite nice. I think he's stopped repairing and actually load him back. Okay, he does force him back there. We've got some S mines here, which will rip apart the M3, whether it be at low health or high health. Assault Grenadiers pushing forward. They should probably just go straight for the M3, the M1919A4 in the back of the M3s. Actually has higher DPS than Dishka M2 up front. So the rear machine gun's a pretty good machine gun. And we do now have a live mechanized company now being deployed in the field by IM-422, or at least Pack 40. No medics being deployed in the field. Assault Grenadiers really do require medics. And also the Austrian in general, since they have small man squads, they need to be topped off of health. Grenadiers getting good volley there. Falls back. No medical bunker yet, so I'm not sure why he fell back that squad. Could have kept around fighting a little bit. Let take a bit more damage, so then fall back, get medics, but we're going to keep that guy at home. I understand trying to keep guys back at home to heal, but I think they're just a little bit too early. And now at this point, yep, does stop the move there. Assault Grenadiers need the healing as well. It's going to be a bit of time to get them healed on up.
Enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
And it gets a pretty good quick pick there. We've got some guards rifles, so they will be effective versus 2-2. Seeing this guy, probably should have avoided the deployment of a 2-2. That's a Minesweeper squad, not a Flamer squad. He could have stayed inside there. He's like, wait a second, that's a Minesweeper squad. That's not a Flame Warfare squad. Does avoid the S mines. This is throws up armor pierce rounds. Will reverse into that's a Minesweeper. Does get a spot there. Doesn't now retarget towards the M3 and does not pick it off there. Bit of a series of mistakes there by the Wehrmacht player. So the player did a pretty good bluff there. The bluff of charging forward with a engine to the back of a M3. But of course, it was not the right type of upgrade. You now have a squad of Panzer Grenadiers, mechanized assault deployed field. The 250 half-track can also be used for a flame car for your pioneers, making it very effective. And the 250 half-track has actually really good armor. This thing is far more durable and very capable of doing this job. Wipes out that penal squad there, very nice. I love the German infantry doctrine and loading a pioneer in the back of one of these things. Especially using against Soviets. Oh, Soviets going for a maximum span? Here, I'm going to flame clown car you. Yeah. Guards course still very lethal in this situation. He could dismount the Panzer Grenadiers as he goes for a driver. Oh, he managed to get a good engagement, force him back there. Took a serious bit of fire there. Panzer Grenadiers should dismount and fall back to a pioneer. Maybe with a Flamen Warfer. Work some Flamen. This fight can go either way. I think it's going to be both sides losing this fight. He does dismount the Panzer Grenadiers. And this little penal squad does fall back. And he needs to fall back to squads here. But the Panzer Grenadiers do find some way to cover there and draw some fire there. So he will stick around. I would say get to the edge of the fuel sector so he doesn't get plinked there. It looks like he will re-secure the fuel sector and secure this cutoff sector of the Minesweeper squad. No flamethrower there. Hands falls onto the M3, which is still alive and not a real threat of going down at this exact moment. Guards who get forced back. Panzer Grenadiers got heavy cover. That's the power of heavy cover. In order to make it the power of heavy cover, just need to make sure it's plugged into DC power rather than AC power. Clearly the tractor's not moving, so it needs more power. I don't know where I was going with that joke. Got now a granate warfare now being employed in the field to warp some granates. Pair of grenadiers, one assault grenadier, panzer grenadier. So got a pretty good mixed force. The grenadiers are not upgraded at the moment. Does have enough munitions for a LMG. We also don't have a Pack 40. I want to see the Vampire go for Pack 40, but you could just go for Battle Phase 2 and we'll unlock the Stugi, which is not a replacement of the Pack 40. You can go for Panzerschrecks on the Panzer Grenadiers. I'm not a big fan of most infantry-held AT squads in this game. So that's more of a preference in my opinion. Because I just always find them so easy to counter. And they don't pose they're not really a hard counter threat, they're more of a soft counter threat. The Soviet player can also tech up as well, has good fuel reserve. Battle Phase 2 is now being researched. Escapes the garrison, very nice. Oh, LMG grunts. Yeah, it's actually a pretty good upgrade. Remember when this was actually a column unit? A 250 half track with LMG grunts in the back? I do. And gets gunned down because he's fighting against 2 guard squad with PTRSs. As follows there, will not secure the kill. Guards could just go ahead and dismount. They do. And the Grenadiers are Rescue 3 and severely damaged. Believe it or not, the 250 half tracks is a pretty good item for LMG Gren to be in back of as well.
Stoke 3 ready to deploy. Our opponents are seizing a sector. Our lines of supply are disrupted.
Stoke E advancing. Stogies pushing forward. Of course, there's guards. I have no idea how this fight will go. Guards can fight this out. Stogi's not super high AT infantry. I'm not really a big fan of Stogi, but it is pretty cheap. Does get buttoned there, and got a 3rd squad of guards on the field. I think he will get flanked out. He has no more being affected by the Quadrant there. He may just got out of range and made then a stop order command or move order command, the one that was cast the button. Stugi needs to fall back. He can also always fire a smoke barrage if he needs to. I do like that change for the Stugi. It able to fire a smoke barrage is such a good idea. I think I actually had that in my mod before they actually added that into the game. I'm always liking to see more smoke abilities on various units that are not tap and just bail out of jail a smoke card like Panzer Tactician, but like more tactical ones like the Shoreman.
Enemy is taking our territory.
Because let's be frank, people don't use smoke often enough, including myself. M3 now deployed in field. Of course, now versus C2 is where you get the ability to secure territory. He is fully at veteran C3. Assault grenades there. Does splash the squads a little bit there, but largely dodge it. Very nice. And he may go down there. It's 3 squads, pretty healthy models. Granat Warfare misses the M3. Or should I say the M3 did dodge it. And I think now the Wehrmacht player should... He can save up for... He can start eyeing for save up for a Tiger Tank. But if he saves with Tiger Tank, he needs a Pack 40. Or he can go for a Panzer IV Stug. He needs some sort of form of AT. Sooner rather than later. Right now, the Soviet player has not teched up though, so he doesn't need the AT. He still just has tier 1, no tier 2, nor 3 or 4.
We now have access to additional battlefield options. Close air support is
And
available.
Stug and KB1s are an excellent vehicle. Was that full squad right there? That was a full squad
Our
wipe.
supply sector.
We do now have tier 3 being built. He has enough fuel to go to tier 4 and then follow up with a T-34 76. And by the time he gets that all built, he probably has enough fuel for a KV-1. So it'd be a good idea to go for that KV-1. KV-1s will be a hard counter to the Panzer IVs as those Stugs,
Capturing our supplies.
barring the range the Stugs have. He's going to embrace dirt, which means the Shogi could try crushing them, but of course he'll probably be bottom if he does. And the Penal Squad does find some suppression there from the MG42. Going for an SU-76, so he's getting a little bit desperate there. Once that gets built, he can start building tier 4. He could be able to get the kill there. He needs to push forward. He's trying to get a push forward to do a button, but he does not.
We are losing
Get some good
supplies
hits
to
there.
the
Needs to
enemy.
keep on running. Ooh, great hit there. Ar's gonna fall back. Go to the Stug. Su-76 on the build queue.
What do you need?
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Good hit there.
Incoming!
SU-76 rolls a miss. And now eyeing for a barrage.
Not let up. The enemy still has
Decent
300
hit them, the
points.
guards. Brens do fall back and double team like that. Assault Grenadier is in a good position. Does now have the 6-man squad upgrade, just simply not reinforced.
We are now authorized to request more
Now I
power.
got the Panzer Grenadiers behind some good heavy cover. Infantry does get gunned down by the now veteran 3 Panzer Grenadiers. Veteran 3 Panzer Grenadiers are falling back, in which they're drawing all the fire there, allowing the assault guards to perhaps sprint their way forward and throw some assault grenades. Not assault guards, assault grenades. Grenades with throw. He will eat it. He needs to retreat on back now.
Tiger to deploy.
Ecopon's gonna be blowing the field. Got another SU-76 in the field queue. Plus he's getting a little desperate AT. SU-76s are pretty nice and all, but they're not perfect. Far from it. SU-76 are going for close range, hikes with barrage, decrews the mortar.
We have lost a Granatwerfer squad.
Still getting plinked a little bit more by the guards. Gren's push really forward. Panzerfaust does connect on the SU-76. SU-76 push way forward. He could get another Panzerfaust on the SU-76, or he can throw a Panzerfaust onto the SU-76. He has to fall back before Panzerfaust on the SU-76, or Panzerfaust on the SU-76. Right now, the Wehrmacht player has pretty good fuel control at the moment, has 2 VPs and more than half the map. His income right now is 32 fuel versus 20 fuel, which allows him to get towards the Tiger tank. In fact, he has enough command points now for the Tiger Panzer. He has Battle Phase 3 as well, so he's all prepped and ready for the Tiger Panzer. Incendiary Barrage there, which is not very good versus SU-76s. Not sure how effective it is versus your armor. Let's just say I rarely ever had the opportunity of trying to shoot rear armor S76 with a incendiary barrage there, or incendiary rounds. It's not exactly too particularly great. That ability is only really useful if it's not a tank, or perceived to be a tank. One of the commentators to get thrown away there. Got now a Hexer barrage into the garrison. And the MG42 starting to abandon the garrison. Mortar gets an excellent hit there. MG42 is prone to being wiped out now, so is that Penals.
The enemy is taking our territory.
We got triple SU-76 on the field, which can actually blink away the Tiger tank. Armor piercing's a little bit of an issue, but range and rate of fire is pretty good on those SU-76s.
Forces are securing our territory.
Good hits there. All the Soviet infantry units need to fall back and reinforce. Go for another combat engineers. Doesn't really need a second one at the moment for repairs. And guard squad does fall back there.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Tanks with barrage there. And there's the Tigerpanzer. Probably a good idea to support it with probably Panzer IVs. You can go for more Stuck E's, but triple SU-76 can engage it, but it's going to be very iffy. Tiger tank just needs to 3-shot those SU-76s. Straightforward. It does have support of a large number of guards. Pen there, double bounce on the Tiger tank. Once these SU-76 start getting vetted, they can be very good. Let's see, they get accuracy, mobility, and fire greater frequency. So no pen modifiers, and looks like that one will go down.
The enemy is attacking our HQ.
And the Tiger tank did take a bit of damage there, slowly being whittled down. And falling back now is probably a good idea. He does have 2 pioneers for repairs, which is good. And the Stucky, since at least Veteran C1, in fact it's Veteran C3, has access to the heat shell, which is a bit of a stun effect. Right hit on the ground. Good hit there onto the Penals. Great hit there. And guards who fall back. SU-76 getting some good shots there on, or not SU-76, the Stucky getting some good shots on the Penals. Penals will have to get wiped on out. And good shot there. That may have been from actually the Stucky that shot there. Tiger tank pushes his way forward. Good pen there on the Tiger tank. Bounce down the Tiger tank. Guards do brace dirt. The Panzer Grenadier squad does force them back. Great start there on the retreating back guards. Bounce. Good pen there. A Sim-6s would have been fine if he could pull out Panzer IVs, but it's simply not the case this game. Another one took a shot there. The Veteran C2 one could push forward. Gains a good pens on the Tiger tank, does ward him back. Now here comes the High-Explosive Barrage on top of the Panzer Grenadiers. Stogie gonna be firing away. Grenadiers in a good defensive position.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector. A sector has been cut off.
And looks like the Soviet player has back to the game now. This angry saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.